Hey ladies, welcome back to the Pretty Fearless podcast with me, your host, Morgan Tracy J, as we begin to talk about how you can be pretty fit. You can be fearless with your fitness. Let's talk about it, all right? Hey ladies, welcome back to the Pretty Fearless podcast with me, your host, Morgan Tracy J. Yes, I got on shades. Yes, I'm in a black top. I actually already shot this episode and I felt like it was falling flat. I was not really feeling it. So I just you know what, Morgan, it's been a little minute since you've shot a Pretty Fearless episode. So let's try this again. All right, ladies. So this episode is going to teach you how to be fearless with your fitness. All right. And how I've actually lost 25 pounds with walking. Okay. We're going to talk about that in this episode. And I'm going to be showing you some photos and all that of my journey so far. I do got to take the shades off, y'all. I'm sorry. I can't do it. I can't do the shades. It's a little tough. But I want to tell you this, ladies. Something I have to tell you is if you have been looking at the scale, if you've been wondering why is it not moving, why is things not going like it used to go, I used to could diet like this and lose 10 pounds easy. If that is you, then girl, I'm here to help because I have noticed a few things about myself and we're going to talk about how I have lost 25 pounds. And actually while I'm recording this, I'm at 26 pounds, but 25 sounds better, just like 25, like a perfect number. So you guys, it was December of 2024. I was at my sister's house and we were celebrating my little nephew's birthday, Elam Pelam, okay, my baby nephew. And my sister took a photo of me, which was really me and my mom, with Elam to open these presents, and it was a side shot. All right, I'm going to put it on the screen so you can see. I'm actually wearing this same jacket in this photo, okay? And my stomach was out there. That was the first photo where I was like, Morgan, what? And so I got on the scale and I realized I was 198 pounds. Ladies, I am 5'5", so I've never been that big in my life. I knew I was teeter-tottering at 190, 195, but when I seen 198, it almost like slapped me in the face because I was so close to 200 and I've never been there. And I knew that if I didn't change my eating style, I was going to get to the 200s, 215, 220s, whatever. I knew that. So there was this other photo that I had taken with me and my nephew. And my sister did like a cute like candid shot of us taking this photo. And even though the photo was super cute, I love it. I did not like how I looked in that photo. Okay. My face was so much fuller. And I realized that I am downplaying my weight right now. And I've been downplaying my weight for a season because I know my angles. I know how to take good photos to where I don't look so big. And so now that I'm seeing these from other angles, I'm seeing the real, okay? I'm seeing the real. And so guess what, you guys? I started off 2025 this year on a mission. I took a picture of my scale at home and I photoshopped in 160 pounds on that scale. I photoshopped that in. And even when I did 160, it felt so unattainable. I was like, maybe you need to put 180, 175, right? I'm less than that now. But at the time, when you're 198 pounds, when you're breathing hard, when you can barely walk for very long, you notice that seems very unattainable, which it obviously is not. But it felt like it at the beginning of this year. So I want to tell you what I started doing. And honestly, I did it wrong. I started going to the gym and I was doing everything in there. I was on the Stairmaster, the treadmill. I was lifting a few weights. I was trying to do some squats. I was doing so much stuff. And honestly, I was getting a good sweat. But I noticed after about a month, I hadn't really even lost any weight. I noticed that I had fallen flat on my weight loss journey because I was putting in all this work, but I was not seeing the results. So then we get into month 2. I'm starting to lag. I'm losing momentum. Instead of going to the gym 3 to 5 times a week, now I'm only making it 1 time a week. And then all of a sudden, March, I was fully off of it. I fully fell off into February, almost all of March. I didn't even go to a gym. And so end of March, the last few weeks of March, I was like, Morgan, you got to get back in the gym. I don't know what's going on with you. You might have PCOS. Like I was doing all this research because it's like I was now at 192 to 196. I kept fluctuating between there. I would one day look and at 1 week and it would be 195 and another week 193 and another week 196. Like it was just always fluctuating. It's like it wouldn't move for like 4 months there. And so then I'm just kind of walking you through how the Lord works. I gave this word in May, okay? And it was called Welcome Back, and it's here on my YouTube channel. And it was a word the Lord gave me when I was on a ministry trip. And it was about welcome back to life. You've been bent for a season, but I'm welcoming you back to life, to love, to health. And he talked to me about things in my life that had me bent, which was death, grief, things like that. And he talking about welcome back. And even when he was telling me welcome back, I did not fully know what that looked like. And now, right now, I am the living example of that word coming to pass, but we'll get there. But he helped me back in May. Welcome back. I preached it at an event, and I also preached it on my YouTube channel. So you can check that video out. But that word I did believe was a prophetic word. And so May, at the end of May, I started working out a little bit because we had the Glow Up series coming. But it wasn't really nothing, you guys. I was working out kind of. Like I ran for 2 or 3 days and never ran again, whatever. So this is how I'm getting into losing 25 pounds because at this time, I have lost 2 pounds, if that, okay? So I'm still in this teeter-totter, don't know why my weight isn't moving. Why aren't things moving? My weight is still stuck on me, all of that. I've been going to the gym at different times. I felt like I was doing too much, not getting results. I was overwhelmed. And then this is what happened. My husband's niece, which is now my niece, her name is Madison. She started working an internship at this particular gym near our house. And she's like, hey, if you come up here, we can go for walks and that'll give me something to do. So I'm like, yeah, okay, I'll come in the mornings because that works best for me. So starting in June, Monday through Friday, because she would be at work Monday through Friday, I would meet her at this gym. And instead of in the gym, we would just walk outside and we would just walk and talk. And we started with just 1 mile. We did that for about 2 weeks. And then we started going to 2 miles. And so, and this is the month of June. And I noticed by the end of June, I think I lost like a pound or something. And that was walking 1 mile at least 5 days a week. Okay. I noticed I only lost about a pound. And I'm like, man, what am I doing wrong? So July comes. In July, I got this word about the final push. I encourage you ladies here on YouTube to do it with me, which was part of the Glow Up series, but it was called the final push. That was the word the Lord gave me. Like some things you're going to have to push for. Some things happen easy, but some things you got to push and grit for, okay? So I remember when July hit, I said, I'm not going to do any of my gummies. I was always going and buying gummies like all the time and chocolate. Those were my snacks. Those were my pick-me-ups. Those were my things. Gummies and snacks and sometimes like Diet Dr. Pepper, Diet Coke, stuff like that. So I said, I'm going to cut out my gummies and my chocolate. I was not cutting out my Diet Cokes because they're 0 calories. And I was like, we good on that. So I was like, no, I'm not cutting that out. I'm just cutting out gummies and chocolate. I kid you not, ladies. Within 2 weeks of cutting out gummies and chocolate, I had lost like 2 pounds, 3 pounds. By the month of cutting out gummies and chocolate, I had lost like 6 pounds or more. What I realized is that I had low-key this addiction to getting gummies, like these little gummy worms, sour gummy worms, and chocolate almost every day. And even though I thought, oh, it's just a little thing here, it's small, it's just 1 chocolate bar, or it's just a little bit of gummies, girl, that stuff adds up. Because when I cut that thing out for the month of July, I started noticing my scale was moving. All right. So at this time, I'm walking 2 miles 5 days a week with Madison. And now I'm not having chocolate and gummies, which I was having almost every day. And that's what I want to tell you. That is how little addictions spur up. They don't spur up just overnight all of a sudden. But it's like, oh, you go get it here. Oh, you go get that little thing here. You keep getting it. You keep getting it. That's how it adds up. And that's what was happening to me. I was eating these gummies thinking, oh, a couple times a week, but I wasn't accounting for also the chocolate I was eating. And then also this other little snack I was getting. I was doing this almost every single day. And so what was happening is even though I was doing those walks in June, I was eating so much bad stuff that I was not able to lose the weight, right? So when July hits and I cut those things out, I'm obviously starting to see weight loss. Then in the midst of this final push, God puts it on my heart to do a final push with the Esther fast. And this year, he said, we're not going to do water only or just dry. We're going to do a smoothie fast. So I pitched that idea to so many of you ladies, even the women in the ministry. And a lot of us jumped on that train. And I kid you not, For those 3 days, I did a smoothie breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And then I might throw an extra smoothie in if I really needed to pick me up. So 3 smoothies at least, only 3 smoothies a day, and a fourth smoothie if I really absolutely needed it. I want to tell you, at the end of those 3 days, I felt so much better in my body. I felt so much lighter in my body. I felt clear in my head also. But I want to tell you this, it wasn't just what I did in those 3 days, it's that what those 3 days started to do inside of me. So after those 3 days, I remember I had a diet Dr. Pepper, which I love a good diet Dr. Pepper. I grabbed it out of the fridge. I was so ready to drink it. And when I was about to open it, it looked like muddy water to me. And I thought, if you had the option to drink clear water or muddy water, what are you going to drink? If you were at a creek, you're going to choose the clear water. You're not going to drink the muddy water. And even though this is Dr. Pepper, Diet Dr. Pepper, and you love this drink, this literally looks like muddy water right now. And I kid you not, guys, that day, for like the next week, I could not drink I could drink anything dark colored because it just looked like muddy water to me. It's like my mind shifted or something. Because before I was like, oh, I love my diet, Dr. Peppers. There's 0 calories, whatever. But it's like that fast shifted something. So then I started drinking water, flavored water. And since then, I have had a Sprite or, a Sprite Zero because it's clear. I can manage a clear drink. But something shifted where it's like, I don't want to put no muddy waters in my body. Like, I don't want that in there. Okay. So that is the month of July. I noticed a big shift in my weight that month. Not only with the fast, but even after the fast, I noticed that I was still keeping up with the I was still keeping up with the smoothies for breakfast. I was still doing I was still doing like 2 smoothies a day. I was doing a smoothie for my breakfast and for my snack. So when I would want to eat those gummies and have the craving to get chocolate or gummies, I would drink a smoothie. All right. And that's kind of what I started doing, but I was still having a strong breakfast, strong lunch, strong dinner. I was eating pretty regular on those times. But just making those little changes, I noticed the scale started moving, ladies. It started moving when it hadn't moved for 6 months. And I realized something. Girl, you've been trying to go to this gym and run and move this body when the key changing factor was your eating style. It's how you've been eating. It's what you've been putting in your body. And I've heard people say this all the time. Oh, it's about your food. It's about your food. But I think I had to experience it truly to realize that my weight gain of 198 pounds, it was from my eating style. Even though I was trying to do the gym, it was about those little bad habits I had created over the last 2 to 3 years that now are compounding. So I was noticing that, yeah, you think it's just one chocolate candy bar, but if you're having a chocolate candy bar 4 times a week and you think it's just one bag of gummies, but you're having that 3 times a week, those things are compounding, okay? And that's what was happening with me. So what happened for July? I kept walking my miles with Madison. I started just walking 1 mile and jogging 1 mile. So I would get 2 miles in, walk a mile, jog a mile. Sometimes it would take me a lot longer because obviously I was my first time really getting back into running. But keep building that habit in June is what got me to July and now into August. Okay. All right. Also, I'm going to say this. Everything changed for me when my eating changed. So I want to say this, girl, you can go to the gym. You can jog a mile or 3 miles. But if your eating doesn't change, you're not going to get the results that you can see. So from the month of June, when I only changed my workout style and was more consistent, I lost 1 to 2 pounds. But for the month of July, when I did the same workout, but I actually changed my eating, I lost like 7, 8 pounds. Things change when you pay attention to what you're putting in your body. Also, now that we're in August and I'm down 25 pounds, well, really 26, but I'm down these pounds, what I've noticed is choosing more water or flavored water drinks over soda is very going to be beneficial. It helps my body feel better. Also, me skipping breakfast. I've been a big breakfast girl for years. I love a good breakfast, but I noticed that I felt more energetic. I didn't feel so sluggish when I skipped breakfast and had a smoothie instead. I also noticed that a lot of my tiredness during the day, I'd always be like, gosh, I'm tired. I would be like 11, 12, or 2 or 4. I would feel so exhausted. It was due to the excess weight on my body. I do believe that excess weight makes you tired. Because I was like telling even my husband one day, like, he's like, you seem like you don't even need a nap anymore. When I was in 198 pounds, I was always needing a midday nap. Like I would be drained. And now with working out and losing 25 pounds, I don't need a midday nap. I don't even be tired until like 6:30 or 7. And that's the end of the day when I'm winding down, where I start to actually feel tired. I want to tell you, girl, the energy that you are like, man, I feel like I'm always tired. It's tied to your weight. Man, I feel like, I don't feel that great about it's tied to your weight, girl. Okay. I want to tell you that again. It is tied to your weight. I want to reiterate this back to you. If you're a girl who's feeling like, I have not been able to lose weight, I've been stuck, I feel like I have PCOS or I may have it, I feel like my weight is not moving, I'm going to tell you this, girl. Stop trying to do the most at the gym. Just walk. Just do a treadmill walk. Do a Stairmaster walk. Just walk outside. Quit trying to do the most at the gym. Build the habit of just showing up and doing it. If it's 3 days a week, those same 3 days at that same time. Just build that habit first, okay? Quit trying to do the most at the gym. Next thing is pay attention and cut off any bad eating habits. We all have eating habits. But if you notice right before dinner, you're snacking on chips, then that's a bad eating habit. Let's cut that out. If you notice every Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, you got to go get a big old frappe drink from McDonald's, cut that out, girl. Those things are adding up, okay? So if you have any bad eating habits that are consistent, even if it's your snack time, pay attention and cut those out, all right? Next thing I want to tell you is to try a smoothie for breakfast, okay? Honestly, try a smoothie for breakfast. And also try a smoothie for your snack time. If you notice right before dinner, you're always really hungry and you're snacking, or it's after dinner, it's nighttime, and you're always going and eating some ice cream, throw a smoothie in there. One thing about smoothies is you can create them to be low calorie, but still of so much nutrients, and they'll give you that sweets that you're craving also, all right? So I always love a good like strawberry banana smoothie, a good mango smoothie in the evening or something to kind of coat my belly if I feel like I'm still a little hungry, okay? And I gotta say this again, girl. Your weight loss is tied to your food. So if you've been noticing that the gym is just not getting it, it's like, man, I feel like I should have lost more weight by now. Take 1 month, take 2 weeks, and pay attention to your food, because that is where it's tied at. And when I got my food in order, the weight started going off because my fitness was already mildly in order, but like the going to the gym, walking was mildly in order. But when I got my food in order, the weight started falling off. So if you're trying to lose weight, gain muscle, anything, get your food in order, girl. Okay? All right. Well, ladies, I am here to tell you that I am down 26 pounds. It feels amazing to say that. At the beginning of the year, when I put that 160 on my vision board, it felt so unattainable, but now I know that I am so close to that. I went from being like, so many pounds away from that to now I am so close to it, and I know it's so attainable. So right now I am 172 pounds. I started this year off at 198, and now at 172, I truly feel lighter in my body, lighter in my spirit. I feel more energetic than ever. I feel better, okay? So ladies, you can be fearless when it comes to your fitness. All right? I hope this video encouraged you, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye, ladies. Stay fearless.